Hello, hello. All right, let's do a reading. Use the Rider-Waite. And back in the saddle again. Get back to reading on a regular basis here. Get videos out to you. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. You have no idea how much. But we are here to talk about the rotten orange dumpling, and the impeachment trial in the Senate, which is, well, it feels very strong. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on? Oh, you okay? You should come up here. They like you. Yes, they do. They like you. There's a good boy. They haven't seen you in a while. But I see you every day. I see you every day, and I am grateful for you every day. Yes, I am. I am grateful for you every day. All right? Okay, so some good energy here to combat the stench of the Trump administration and McConnell, and I guess we're going to find out who exactly are the senatorial equivalents of Jim Jordan and Devin Nunes. So, but the House is likely to vote shortly, that's the plan, after the judicial hearings in the Judicial Committee. Then it will go to a floor vote in the House. Trump is likely to be, had though, impeached in the House. And then it will go to the Senate. Yes, it would go to the Senate. It would go to the Senate for a trial. But here's the problem. That big old mean McConnell, good grief, who knows what's going to happen there. I mean, there's a full trial. There'll probably be Hunter Biden and every other sideshow conspiracy, nothingness. But at the same time, there is hope that this will actually happen and it will get rid of the Orange Menace. Simply because, there was yet another story that came out today about how Trump overvalued his properties for the purposes of getting lenders to lend him money, and then would lower the values dramatically for taxation purposes. So he would get more money, but he would have to pay out less. And he would say, for example, that there was 99% occupancy on a property. He'd say that to the lenders, but then he would tell the IRS or tax people that it only had 83% occupancy. So, and I've always, every reading I've done and every reading I've seen by other readers who I follow, it's the money. It's the money that's going to bring him down. That's why I got kind of excited, because, it's like, oh, is this it? Is this it? No, it's not time yet. It's not time yet. Plus, you've got the January 12th Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which, may be a big thing. That might be part of why there's been this buildup in Hong Kong and of protests in other places. And the last time a Saturn-Pluto conjunction happened in Capricorn was, I believe, 1777. It's between what happened here and what happened in France. It's depending on how it affects the chart of a country. Oops, kitty. Hello, good kitty. It can really make a big it can cause real problems and can cause real rebellion. Hi. Okay, no biting of the cards. No biting of the cards. They're not chewy. Very good. Yeah, good kitty. No, kitty approved. The cards are kitty approved. Okay, so that's good. The cards are kitty approved. So we have to go back to looking at this horrible man and the reprehensible traitors to our country, traitors to democracy, who are keeping him in power. Yes, we do. That's what we need to look at. Yes, that's what we need to look at, sweetheart. Whoop, whoop. Footnotes. All right, card for the reading. This is usually the card I get from Mar-a-Lago and what Mar-a-Lago represents in, the mob family Trump world. And but it feels like his base. He keeps going out to these rallies, and it really does feel like a shrinking group who are just, anything he says, they're groupies. They're Trump groupies. In the past, we had a functioning government, sort of. We didn't think we did, and a couple of times we haven't. We actually haven't. Like, cough, Cheney, cough. But yeah, I mean, there was a time when it was nowhere near this bad. Like when, I don't know, we had a good president in place. Cough, Obama, cough. Anyway, center of the reading. This is about Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate, but this feels like, what I'm feeling, what people around the country are feeling, of we have been stabbed in the heart, stabbed through the heart, enough. And I think that's key. It isn't just that Trump comes up so often as the man on the ground in the Ten of Swords with all the swords in his back, where it's like, okay, eventually it'll be enough to slay the beast, metaphorically, and very, very anti-violence here, very. But this is really the people being able to stand up and say, just no more, just no more. And the 2018 elections were a big part of that. Base of the reading. Well, this is the House. That's Pelosi. These are the Democrats. I usually get cup cards for Democrats, except for Pelosi, because, well, she's Pelosi. And I believe it's an Aries, and the wands are usually fire signs. But anyway, above the reading. Yeah, this feels like the Democrats, especially in the House. This is how the Republicans are feeling. And the ones who are standing behind Trump are feeling very beaten up. And then there are some who are, there are a handful who are at least in private saying, I'm not giving this guy a pass. Get him out of here. We can get Pence. We can get, we can get a potted plant. I still say I've got a pathos over here, which would make a much better president. Near future. Yes, the resentment there in the Republicans, that's the only kind of wild card here. Near future. Strength. This is Major Arcana, this is not. This is in this category. It's usually illusion, delusion, it can be fiction, but here in this type of reading, this is the chaff, the lies that that Trump and the Republicans are throwing out there. It's crowd strike and the Ukrainians have the server. No, they don't. But the strength of the case against Trump is that strong, whereas this is much worse. So it's going to be, it feels like the conflict of these two. Grief. Home environment for a better tomorrow. And both sides are really dug in about what's going to constitute a better tomorrow. Unfortunately, on the Republican side, it includes people like Stephen Miller, who is a racist. I mean, racist. Big letters, racist. Hopes and fears. Republicans and even some Democrats, not for any love of Trump, but just in general, they don't want to have to impeach the president. They don't want it to come to this. This is not the mark on history they dreamt of as a kid, even though they'll realize later that it was vitally important. One of the things I am most proud of in my life is that I literally, my first time voting, I got to vote against David Duke. And I carry the pride of that and the feeling fortunate that I was able to be there and cast one of those votes to say no. I don't care what you're saying now. I don't care what game you're playing. No, So it's complicated. What other people see? The frustration's building up, and why did my brain went to Kavanaugh? I think isn't there a new book out or something about Kavanaugh and what the Republicans went through to get him through onto the Supreme Court. Hang on. Oh, cats. Sometimes they're like kids with small weapons. Weapons. But anyway, I'm for some reason my brain's going to Kavanaugh there. I don't know why. I mean, the book just came out, but lots of books come out, so... What other people see? I wonder if more is going to come out about him that's going to have some effect. Well, that's part of what the Republicans, they don't want... They want even a bigger conservative majority on the Supreme Court. Final outcome. It's a decision. I mean, that's kind of the point. It's a decision. Look, I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling. This is not what I have got in the past, but this is what I'm picking up, and this feels very, very clear. And it's even the symbolism is. Look how suddenly they went from the colors and patterns and everything, and it just gets very stark and simple and bleak and gray. It's decisions and disappointment, and the chopping block. I mean, it's the sword of truth. I turn this over, and the cat is climbing the cat tree very, very loudly. Good boy. The whole tree is shaking. It's very cute. This feels very bleak. Where this is where it's going. And when I flipped this over, what came into my head was they're going to impeach him. Is it? I don't know. That's not what I've gotten before. Let me see. Let me see. Is that? I want to make sure I have this right. I mean, because we haven't had the. Could it be that I've got the wrong house? It's not the. I've got the wrong house of Congress because they haven't. The House hasn't done their voting yet. Is this the Senate? Yes, the pentacles. These are I get pentacles for Republicans. So, it's all about the Benjamins. It's going to happen faster than we think. Definite conclusion. It's usually the card that comes up for Rudy, but is that where they go talk to Trump and say, look, you should leave? The money, it's the Mueller report, it's the Ukraine stuff, it's the corruption with this children, it's Stephen Miller, border policies. It's Trump's ego and tweets. I mean, literally, it's just like, this is what brings down the Trump administration, and it's Mueller, his children, Trump's children, border policies, especially Stephen Miller, Trump's ego and tweets, and I mean, it's just laying it out. Stupid financial decisions he made, his temper tantrums, his corrupt charity, how he has insulted people in Congress, if he tried to fire Mueller and undermine the people, various people investigating. And when Yovanovitch, was that her name? Forgive me if I'm not correct on that, but when she was testifying and Trump tweeted in the middle of the hearing against her, I mean, it's just, it layers. It's build up. So what happens? Get out. Normally this is a nice, everything's going to be pleasant. No, this feels like a get out. Go somewhere where you can live in your golden, egocentric life. Oh, but he doesn't want to go because investigators and the courts. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if the energy's shifting, where he's too afraid of what's going to happen to him when he's not president. Because is the energy shifting? Well, that's America. This is the Trump basically backed into a corner. All the things have built up against him, and he's looking overseas. Fine, they helped me before. What can Russia do for me? What can other countries do for me? They're already impeaching me for it, so, I just keep doing the same thing, and what can they say? Dead of night, feeling like he can do anything. Trump wanting to get back at as many people as possible who have hurt him, because judgment is coming. But him what is he setting up in the middle of the night? Okay, this reading just literally is going to have to go through the whole deck. But what is this? What is Trump going to try to do in the middle of the night? Is he going to try to leave? He wants to get Ivanka out of the way and just focus on winning I'll focus on winning in 2020. It doesn't work. Secrets. Whose secrets? What secrets? I'm gonna keep these two over here because they're important. What is going on here? Okay, paying somebody off to do what? A message. Dig up dirt on whomever. Paying for, this is social media. Trump's gonna do something really dumb to try to hang on to power. If you think what he's done is corrupt to this point, and also at this point, who would he get to go do it? I mean, he'd have to do it himself. Does he have any allies left? Well, then again, we know Nunes went over, to talk to the guy who was kicked out of the Ukraine. Kicked out of Ukraine. It's not the Ukraine. I'm sorry. I'm repeating that to my head because I'm repeating that to myself because that's someone explained it very well, and I just can't seem to kick the habit. You don't say the France. It's Ukraine. It's a country. So anyway. Yes, that is Pumpkin in the background. So, he doesn't want to leave. He wanted that ability. That feels like trying to get Ivanka out. Get them to safety, but I'll stay here because I'm gonna win because he can't flee. But this? Why is the death card there? Social media. Wild West. Fake. Believably fake. But also just, you know, even a lot of stuff that is obviously fake. But like, you know how you get a denial of service? You get a DOS attack where they just send thousands upon thousands of requests to a particular server and it just overloads. So the site goes down because that site that's, you know, going through that server goes down. It's almost like flooding, and they're not, a lot of it's just junk. What's the death card and what's the Wheel of Fortune? The words that are coming to my mind is he's going to do something stupid. But it's not like a bombing or what have you. It's, he's a TV person and he believes in media. And the whole going and, you know, sending some bombs into Syria, you know, gave him a slight bump in the polls. But no, this is much more insidious. Play on people's fears. Just beat on people's fears. Fears of the other. People's greed. They're gonna do terrible things to your women, you know, kind of thing. This is the Trump clan. Trump, Ivanka, Jared, kids, you know, aging. He's aging badly. Well, if you live on fast food, people are suffering. There's a huge humanitarian crisis at the border. There's or multiple. The economy is strong and there's low unemployment, but you know, the statistics right now, nobody's having children. The birth rate is dropping like a stone because no one can afford to have children. Practically no one. So is it, I mean, I've only got so many cards left. So is it like Putin gets involved or yeah, he goes to Putin for help or, I mean, it's anyone. I mean, we already know he has no morals. I mean, if North Korea could help him, they'd be like, hey, here's some money. And there are always people who are willing to sell their souls for money. This feels like a lot of like promises of how things are going to be. And I turned this over and my brain said it doesn't work. People are fighting off the garbage. But there are always people willing to lie and, you know, throw other people under buses and trains and automobiles to make money. And this is Trump being knocked down to human size from his emperorship as he sees it. Forced temperance. Him really, not just like it feels like the change from president to not president. It's not just like, oh, he's like knocked down to normal size. No, it feels like to him it's a huge forced, you know, cramming a 5-pound ham into a 2-pound sack, sort of like, oh, I could be so mean and say something about like what he looks like in shorts, but you know, I don't make fun of people's weight. I really don't. I don't judge people on it. I don't really care. But he's so awful, and he judges other people on it, and the hypocrisy. It's just bugs me anyway. So, oh, he's definitely exceptional. Trump is definitely exceptional. I'm willing to make an exception in his case. But this is a huge change. Huge. This feels like history books, where everything is simplified, the story is simplified down, and he was the TV star, and he was, you know, under the clouds of being investigated, and he held money back from Ukraine, and there were all of the hearings and court cases, impeachments. And we lived happily ever after. Witnesses, there were so many hearings and court cases, and witnesses came and left evidence and left, and it finally, things just fell apart in the Trump administration. And, this is kind of covered a little bit there, so it's like you can't even see him you can't even see him anymore, and we lived happily ever after. That's what I'm getting. All right, that's interesting. I guess, he may be forced out, but it feels like the Senate is going to impeach him. But every other reading I've done said they won't. He'll leave before that happens. But he's too afraid to leave. And now that it's getting closer and closer and closer to taking form in the physical world and happening, it's I think it might be gelling in this direction. So anyway, that is what I am getting. We'll get through this. We're going to get through this. We are. And there are good days ahead. So just hang in there, because, the truth will out. And it may not seem like it, and it may take a long time. But, the old saying is that the wheels of government, they grind slowly, but they grind finely. And he's going to be ground out. So that's what I'm getting. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons. I'm so grateful. All right, but hang in there. We are going to be okay.